up and what's going on, everyone? We appreciate everybody being here this evening. For the ones that are watching, the ones that are chatting in the chat already, if you haven't hit that like button for us, we do appreciate all of you guys being here. Appreciate Marcus and Chill joining me once again this evening. Marcus, how are you since the last time we spoke with you?
Doing well. Same old, man. Same old. Enjoying all of the pretzel making over the T'Challa controversy last week. I'm
Yeah,
enjoying human pretzels.
yeah, for sure. Jill, how have you been?
Yeah, I didn't think there would be much to talk about anymore until Jake Castorina opened his mouth and started providing these theories and yeah, was it yeah, he got me stretching. Oh, pretzeling. Oh, that was
Yeah,
nuts.
for sure.
But I'm all for respecting T'Challa, and I saw a great suggestion from Cornelius. Everyone knows him who's here. He was saying, "What about that hashtag? Kind of looks like recast, but it's a different word. Maybe the algorithm will pick up on it differently." And really, it's more specific to what's been happening with the absence of T'Challa in Eyes of Wakanda, which is coming up. They'll do every Black Panther but him. They're doing his bastard son. They're doing his sister already in that movie. We got to see his dad, the video game with his grandfather. Can we respect T'Challa? So if there's one thing you're gonna pick up from this, it's leave, open a new tab, use the hashtag, talk about how he needs to be on screen, and Black Panther franchise is about him and not so much his family members. If we accomplish anything, maybe we might get it trending.
Yeah, yeah, no, I when I saw that Cornelius had tweeted about that, I had said to myself, maybe the next time I tweet out recast, I'll tweet next to it as the same, respect as well. Recast T'Challa, hashtag respect T'Challa. See if we can build some momentum on it as well. But
And I think if we were all to do it at the same time, it would pick up. Like if everyone in the span of an hour, as we're live streaming here, just thought about it and did it, the computer will pick up on it.
yeah, yeah, um, definitely been a. I did not expect this conversation to be still going on. With do we want to jump? Do we want to jump right into that one first, or where do we want to go first? I mean, we're talking about it now, so we might as well just dive in on it. Um,
Cool.
like I said, I just didn't expect this conversation to still be taking place. Well, as far as the gymnastics of people trying to make it not make sense, and I think a lot of people thought with Jake's answer that he gave that gave them ammo. I've seen some people trying to use that. Well, no, the director said this, and you're going against Marvel, and I'm like, but he himself, when I saw it, I in our group message texted you guys, and I said he was just talking for the sake of talking in that in that whole interview. There was nothing that he said that was
What did he
substantial.
even say? There are different timelines. Okay. Well, when we started this timeline, it was the timeline that directly continued off of the 97 show, or the show when it left off in 97. And you told us, or at least Brad Winderbaum told us, at the very beginning of all of this, that this show is squarely in the universe of the 90 shows. It is so funny watching them trying to sever their own words. It's like trying to watch somebody cut off their own body.
Yeah.
It is insanity. You said this already.
Mhm.
It's on wax. Okay? You only make yourself look like an idiot by going against it.
Right.
It's no different from when Nate Moore is like, man, you know what this franchise is about? This franchise is about T'Challa. You can't love this franchise unless you love T'Challa. And then 5 years later, we're like, I mean, there are many Panthers. We know that. We've always known that. Mantle, right? Mantle.
Mantel.
It's like, fam, okay. It does put you in a position as a fan, right? Like, what are you supposed to do with that? Are you supposed to try to convince yourself that the nonsensical things that they're saying make sense, or do you take offense? It really puts you in a bad spot, especially if you are a fan of T'Challa. I would rather them just say no comment. I would rather them just have them kick it up the ladder.
Yeah.
Keep kicking that thing up the ladder all the way until it gets to Bob Iger's feet. Because what you're saying in the midst of it, obviously everybody missed media training this fall. Everybody missed it because they talk themselves in circles constantly. It is the most annoying thing to hear out of Marvel.
Well, here's the interesting thing with these media appearances and stupidity. It adds more fuel to what I can say, more that I can use to retort the stupidity. And notice this: Bo DeMayo was getting a lot of love on Twitter, and then just like this last week, I felt everyone else associated with this project was interviews here and there, and I think that's to remind you that there's other people who are part of this X-Men '97 success.
Right. And from what we heard, now this is not coming from Marvel. Sorry. From
What did we hear? Planet Phonetics?
Yes, from what we heard.
Planet Photonics. Photonics?
Planet Fantastic.
I don't know.
What is that channel? Never heard of it. No, Brad Winterbottom. Well, from what we heard from some of this, who was it? I forget who it was. Whatever. That I guess Marvel's not happy with how active Bo has been on Twitter with all the conversating he's been doing.
He don't work for y'all.
Exactly.
He's unhappy. I was about to say.
Exactly. Exactly. So I think maybe that is why they've tried to push some of these other interviewers out there, or not interviewers, some of the other that are involved, to try to see other faces so fans can maybe start tweeting them, talking to them. I'm gonna be honest with you. What I learned from Jake, and I said this last night on my stream, you kind of pushed me more toward that question I had for us last week or whenever it was, I had, do you lose some spirit or whatever when you lose Bo? From Jake's answer, you didn't tell me that you know a lot about just Marvel in general when you said that, well, if this is the 90s, T'Challa would be a kid.
Ooh, oh
Sir,
my God.
what are you talking about? So that leads me to believe, if you don't know this, what do you know about the X-Men?
It's like that's all they know is MCU timeline. That is all they know is MCU timeline. Fam, you understand that this character has been around for decades, been around for 50 years. How is it possible that a character that was made in the 60s, right? A character that was created in the 60s is still a child in the 1990s?
Man.
I think that's him in company shill mode. I don't think if it's left off to his own and he's got the pencil and a blank piece of paper, he would say something so dumb as, yeah, the time that Peter Parker and Jubilee are old.
I see my thing with that though, Chill, and I love you for being the guy.
I'm defending him.
I love that. But my thing is this. If you didn't know, to just keep yourself even out of these type of conversations that are now taking place.
No
just there you go. Leave it at, I wasn't privy to the conversation. Like he said, I wasn't privy
to the
conversation.
That way. Yeah.
He should have just left it there. He should have just stopped and said, I don't know. I cannot answer you.
He did. He went a step further and he tried to cape for them. He tried to cover
he went on
it
a
up.
2 minute and some second, just babble after babble after babble, nothing making sense. I'm watching this entire thing and I'm like, it's that clip from I forget what is it, Happy Gilmore? We are now dumber from having listened to. Like that's what I felt. I was like, I feel dumber now. I don't know. So yeah, no, it was.
He could have very easily left it at, hey, I wasn't privy to the conversations with Bo and any executives, so I unfortunately I'd have to kick that up to them and move on. But no, it was all this extra explaining. Oh well, if it's like how it is today, meaning MCU timeline, then T'Challa is technically young, which even with that logic, right? Let's play his game.
Let's apply the mathematics.
Yeah, let's play his game. Let's say we're dealing with the T'Challa from the 2018 Black Panther movie, from 2016 Winter Soldier, right? How old is Chadwick Boseman at that point in that movie in 2016?
37 maybe.
Okay, so going on 40 years old. Right? So he's in his late teens, early 20s in the 1990s. Why are we still dealing with geriatric Panther if he's in the prime of his life?
Yeah.
But even more so, they're contradicting themselves even more.
He's not young enough that he can't fight. He's also the crown prince who's been training for battle since he could walk.
Right.
So the minute he's ready to go to battle, he's going out into the field.
Right. Yeah.
What kind of?
I mean, it's the same thing with even with Spider-Man. Like I said, they've contradicted themselves with this. When Spider-Man showed up, they could not wait for fans to ask, "Was that him?" So where they could reply, "That was him." So if that was him, and we did see him obviously with Mary Jane at that, we saw Doctor Strange using his magic, which obviously, if we're using MCU timeline, like Jake is saying, then in the MCU timeline, for Doctor Strange to have his magic and be back as a surgeon,
and doing surgery.
Come on,
you're talking yourself in circles.
That's what I said.
You are literally talking yourself in circles.
It's crazy. It's crazy. That's why I said
if it's MCU timeline, then Peter and Mary Jane standing next to each other in front of that TV means absolutely nothing because Mary Jane doesn't remember him, right?
Exactly. Exactly. But even if you were still going with the 90s theory, the cartoon theory, that Spider-Man still met the X-Men that T'Challa cameoed in that episode. I had some people trying to tell me that's you do realize that's not T'Challa.
Do realize that isn't him. I hate when they do that.
You do realize that is the moniker of a wrong person. Who is decidedly incorrect. You do realize that? No.
Okay, so it's not just me.
No. They do that too. They do that, and they think that they really are dropping like some heat, some knowledge on you. And I'm like, bro, what you're saying right now? Hold on one second. I want to share this. What you're saying right now, it doesn't make any. It doesn't make sense.
When I post something, or Marcus or Darius, we know that there's an audience, and we know that there might be backlash if we say something wrong. We actually think about things like that before we come with these positions.
Post it, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Where is that? There it is. Okay. This here. You're like I said, you're not arguing. It's not even about Brad Winterbaum anymore. If you don't want to take what Brad said in the video, cool. What the fuck ever. Now you're arguing with somebody that was there in the original making, that the one that Larry Houston drew this iteration of T'Challa. He was there. He was ahead of the storyboards and all that kind of stuff. Like he said, the picture that everybody's saying that you do realize, he said in this montage of images from 1994 Fantastic Four episodes, Prey of the Black Panther, that I directed, this is his first fully animated debut, his first cameo in X-Men. I'm just like, so what are we doing?
All you would need to do is actually watch the episode. I mean, he literally spells it out for you. My name is T'Challa. My father died 10 years ago. It's not that complicated, man. It ain't even that complicated. If you actually wanted to know, you would know. But people remain blissfully ignorant so that they can argue online.
Yeah. So, like I said, it's for me, it has just been. I'm like, this is crazy. I've stepped out of the threads on the conversation. I'm not arguing with you about it anymore. If you truly believe that, cool. You can have it. Right. I mean, because like I said, it's beyond you arguing with me. You're arguing with Marvel. So, but that's fine.
And also, you shouldn't have to go that far to defend them. Like, we shouldn't be arguing over who canonically was the Black Panther in the 90s. Fam, this point is moot. You've never seen a T'Chaka cartoon before last week. You have literally never seen T'Chaka and doing anything in a Black Panther suit before last week. So, like, what are we even talking about? The Black Panther you know and love and have always seen and known is T'Challa. So, like, it really isn't even incumbent on us to do this back and forth about who it's supposed to be and what they really meant and what they were trying to do and what may be coming down the pike. Fam, the only Black Panther you know is T'Challa. You can't tell me anything about T'Chaka, Azuri, Mosi, none of them. You can't tell me
them
anything
even
about
really
any
knew
of them.
Azuri until the
video game.
The video
until you went and Googled the name so you could find out who T'Challa's grandfather was.
Yes, exactly. And Chill, was it in your video where you were talking about the UN deal that T'Challa opened? It was T'Challa that opened
exactly.
Wakanda.
So why is T'Chaka sitting there in a World Security Council with the Black Panther suit on, which is supposed to be a superhero secret identity that only Wakandans know about, and he's just open and right out there? It's craziness.
Yeah.
Larry Houston would never, or as Q called him yesterday, Larry Hughes.
Yeah, he would. It's just crazy. It's crazy. Like I said, the mental gymnastics that the gymnasts are doing. It is on full display, and that shit is just wild.
Here's what I will say to you, Darius, though. If the scoop you got is correct, this reaction, I think increases the timetable. So we'll find out sooner rather than later if that is a
Well,
thing. If
this
they're trying to correct it, I mean.
right. This got shared with me too. Gray
What up,
shared
JP?
this with me a few days ago, and this is coming from Scoop Russ. I've seen him. I don't follow this scooper, but he typically tweets the same thing that all the scoopers always tweet. You know, they all tweet the same things at the same time. But he had tweeted out this and said,
whenever Daniel RPK farts, that's when they get going.
yeah. It said, here's a list of some of the actors who have recently been in talks or wanted by Marvel, and Damson Idris is at the top of that.
Did that's Cillian Murphy?
Yeah, Cillian Murphy, Anthony Starr, Daniel Craig, Johnny Depp, Jackie Chan.
Johnny
Ooh,
Depp. Okay, now we know it's
Daniel
not real.
Craig to play.
That's what I said about that too. The
That's
Johnny Depp thing. Now, you know, Daniel Craig.
Ooh, Johnny Depp.
I don't know if that one's real. I don't know.
Would he not go back to Pirates, but then do Marvel? I don't think he would do Disney at all.
Yeah, that's true. And they said that there is talks with him coming back to that Pirates one. They're doing several Pirates. They're doing a spinoff with Margot, and then several. They're only doing the spinoff with Margot.
That's happening still?
That's happening. They're doing the spinoff with Margot. I think that's dead on arrival, in my opinion.
If you don't make peace with Johnny Depp, nothing Pirates will sell. There's too much of a loyal
they
fan
have to have Johnny Depp to at least send it off in another direction.
Which is crazy because we're all like recasting is so necessary. You know, you don't got to be attached to the character. But in this case, we are saying you got to be attached to the actor. And it's a different circumstance. I can explain, but it's just funny to hear.
It's because the actor is still alive and able to do the role. If Chadwick was still alive and able to do the role, we wouldn't be Damson.
Of course, no.
Yeah.
Right.
So that's just, you know, fortunately, Johnny Depp is still able to do it if he so chooses.
And just to kind of give, and I'm not going in on this at all, but like if all this does come true, the scoop that was given, or if that stuff is real, if this is real, that they really are looking at some of these actors, and you've got Damson Idris at the top, and now with the news, 2 days ago, they just found their writer for X-Men, and the scoop was he's coming over with the X-Men, you know, with Storm. So that could be. I don't know. I think it's interesting. I really hope it. I hope it is, because this needs some type of good news in that arena. But
my thinking around it is that if they were already thinking, okay, we got to get this guy back, we got to find a way to do it, but we got to ice him until we get him back, and then they've seen the kind of pressure that came from a project that had an erroneous appearance, something that they probably thought would just slide by people, and it got that much reaction. Maybe that hastens the timetable in which they reintroduce.
Yeah.
Maybe they're rethinking. Maybe we could drop an Easter egg. Maybe we could put an after credit scene or mid credit scene to kind of tease it. But I think we'll know. It'll be a little bit more smoke to that fire sooner rather than later if that's the case. Because if they just ignore it like they've always done, then I had no reason to kind of break from the common wisdom on how they're treating T'Challa.
Yeah. Now the Daniel Craig thing, you know, they did have Daniel Craig did. I don't know if we'll ever see that stuff, if that'll ever come to light of day. But he did film for Multiverse of Madness as Balder. He was supposed to be Balder the Brave in that 838 Illuminati group. Anthony Starr just recently, him and James Gunn just recently followed each other. That's not to say he can't do both. You know, Marvel, but I think that is putting a lot. You're doing The Boys, Marvel, and DC. That would be that's a pretty big schedule. I mean, I don't know the man. Maybe he's got, you know, what is 2 phones? Don't get tired. Maybe that's what he's got. I don't know. But that he just recently followed James Gunn, and everybody was talking about, oh, is he going to be in? They followed each other. Is he starring in something DC related? And then Cillian.
Jackie Chan is an interesting name.
Oh, yeah, that one. That is interesting. That is interesting. I don't know. Maybe something, and I'm not trying to just shoe him in there just because of his ethnicity, but there are the rumors that Shang-Chi 2 is going to start filming in 2025. Maybe he's playing a role there. I don't know.
Just knowing he's Chinese and knowing Chinese superheroes, the most prominent one is Shang-Chi. And even he's not no A-list.
Yeah, I'm about to say, who else could he play? Amadeus Cho. But how does he play into... How does he plays in more in the Iron Fist than he does to
He could be like a
Shang-Chi.
variant of any superhero in Secret Wars. The guy unmasked, it's Jackie Chan's face. Oh, he's Iron Man, or
Well, what
he
if
could be
he's
Black
old
Panther.
Shang-Chi? What if they hop into the future?
Yeah,
Oh,
could
yeah,
be
something like that. That'd be awesome.
He's old Simon Liu.
But what is the status of that character? A little 5 minutes surprise, and then back to regularly scheduled Shang-Chi.
I don't know if I need Jackie Chan to be a mainstay in the MCU though. You know, I feel like it would be nice to have him there. It's kind of how like we were getting Bill Murray in
Quantumania.
Quantumania. Now, obviously, we could have got a lot more than what we saw from him, but you know, that's kind of on the level where I'm thinking like I don't want Jackie Chan out there breaking his back trying to do stunts.
I was thinking the same thing. You know, just looking at the newest behind the scenes photos of him doing the Karate Kid, Jackie's getting up there. He's getting up there. That's the same conversations about like Mahershala and everybody else. Now Mahershala's not close to Jackie's age. but you know, yeah, just older actors, you know. So no, I wouldn't have to have him as a mainstay, but it would be cool to just, you know, hey, there's Jackie Chan in the MCU.
Yeah.
Ooh. Daniel Craig as future Franklin Richards. Like Herald of Galactus Franklin Richards.
That'd be cool. That'd be dope.
That would be tough.
I really like Anthony Starr as Homelander. I would want him to come in as a villain, not a hero. I think he plays that villainous role so well. I'm gonna be honest with you. Obviously, this shit's not real, but he puts real fear into the viewer as Homelander. Like
as Homelander, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure.
As Homelander, he puts real fear into you. Like that first season when they were trying to hide from him, I'm like, how do you hide from him? Literally, he's Superman, but it's like, how do you hide from him? Like, and when he rips the plane scene, everybody get the fuck down. Yeah. I'm like, holy shit.
That's why Gen V had to happen. That's why the events in Gen V had to happen.
Right.
Because otherwise, he was just going to be like the overlord of the Earth. He was going to be like Omni-Man.
Yeah. So I like that. And then if Cillian Murphy's coming in, I think it is for the rumored fan casting, it maybe Doom. Maybe they do Anthony Starr as Doom. Could you see an Anthony Starr as no, not as
he's too blonde.
Victor.
Like he's bright blonde. Too blonde. Like even if you change the hair color, I will see the blonde through the change.
Yeah, Cillian Murphy though. That's.
You might be saying his name wrong. I thought it was Cillian Murphy.
Is it Cillian Murphy?
Tiebreaker. Do you remember? Marcus, is it Cillian or Cillian?
I'm constantly butchering names, so you're probably right. It's probably Cillian Murphy. That probably sounds. Actually, I've heard it said that way, so I know it's.
Daniel Craig as Magneto is a hit, Tony Robinson, for sure.
Oh, Daniel Craig as Magneto. Yeah, that would be dope too.
That's a hit.
That'd be dope too.
I would want to see who they have playing as Professor X though as well. It's got to be somebody that Daniel Craig has good chemistry with.
You know, and with that whole Magneto thing, we know for sure.
Marcus, no, it doesn't.
It absolutely does.
No, this is Marvel Studios.
Taylor Swift. Okay, if it's going to be a good movie, those two have to be. They have to play off each other well, very well. But yeah, like you said, Dazzler. So, go figure.
Mm-hmm.
They've really still got their eye on Fassbender and
McAvoy.
No, Sir
Ian McKellen.
Yes, McKellen.
Oh, McKellen. Oh,
okay. McKellen to reprise both roles as Magneto in some form or fashion. I think we're seeing McKellen in.
You know how the actor for The Thing is a Jew? Are McKellen and Fassbender also?
I don't know. They're married.
No clue. They're married.
Right, Ian McKellen and Patrick Stewart married in real life.
Are they Jewish?
Is their lineage?
I have not. I'm not sure. I'm not sure.
I think that's like a new kind of like I don't know. You remember how Moon Knight was kind of fixed up for like more care to be more accurate?
Oh yes, I remember that particularly now for sure.
So I think that there's a much more awareness of getting it more accurate, and so I think that whoever, yeah, sure, but and I'm not opposed to it if they are of the comic book, match it up. Why not? So I would be okay with.
I don't think they go as far as to match religious
Religion?
beliefs for any other groups.
It's
Other
kind of a
tribes.
race also, though. It's a religion as well as being a race.
I don't want to do that on here.
No,
I don't
fine.
want to do that on here. Yeah.
Um,
Whole nother can of worms.
I do want to ask you guys too, what y'all thought before we kind of move to the other stuff, just side in between stuff here. What y'all thought about the newest Avengers 5 news? That it's not going to be so. It's not going to be multiversal. It's going to be more of a standalone film.
German. Well, so was Eric technically.
Okay, so I saw the same thing that you're talking about, Fanatics, and like, wow, doesn't that prove like you guys aren't storytelling? Doesn't it prove like you just have a movie on the slate? It's called Avengers, or let's figure it out while we're there. Aren't things supposed to have happened in the Doctor Strange movie, in everyone's movie that will build up to this movie? Like how is it so malleable that you can just name it anything you want to do and it change the ideas just like that?
Yeah.
It'll be a solo. What?
And it has nothing to do. I don't want to say it has nothing to do with the multiverse. They said the multiverse is just not going to be. It's more grounded, and I'm like, so are we just not doing the multiverse because we've yet to see the multiverse? I mean, the 1 minute that we went through the multiverse and Multiverse of Madness, when him and Chavez were going through those different universes, sure, okay, I'll give you that one. Outside of that, we've not seen the multiverse. We haven't. We have not seen like anything like that. So I'm just assuming, is it not multiversal? What is Avengers 5? And one of the scoopers just tweeted out, since Marvel most likely will recast Kang, obviously they believed, or it is believed that the next variant will be Rama Tut. It's rumored Rama Tut will show up in Moon Knight season 2. This has been rumored for a while, and play a part in the Fantastic Four. Now, the Fantastic Four is news to me. I didn't know that one. Rama Tut has also been teased in Xmen 97, which is canon to the multiversal saga as well.
Very lightly teased.
Yes.
They won't go that direction, just like they weren't allowed to use Deadpool because we're already doing a movie about it. No Deadpool, but they could do Captain America and they could do Iron Man because they're kind of out of the picture.
Yeah.
That's the way that the King Tut was in the X-Men 97. They won't do anything with it.
For all they talk about trying to give the audience multiple interest ramps on into the franchises and things that making it so that you don't have to do so much homework. I feel like that's an unintended consequence, is that the connectivity has really suffered. Yeah. And so we've been talking multiverse. We just haven't been doing it in a connective way that makes us feel like this is the multiverse saga, actually feeling it empirically. When it was the Infinity Saga, we felt that because every other movie they were dealing with those stones, or every other movie Thanos was poking his head in to see what was going on, or he was the bigger bad pulling the strings from behind the scene. We don't have that now. Like we do not have that. There's a million different things going on for a million different people. None of it's leading back to the same source. They're not even referencing their own past in these movies.
We have interviews of creatives saying we're not allowed to know what's going on over there,
which is craziness. How is this supposed to all be happening on the same planet, sometimes in the same city?
Yeah,
right.
Because they love New York,
right?
And nothing's popping up in each other's purview. It's madness.
What you just said though is spot on. The Thanos showing up and all the Infinity Saga stuff. Whether it was just my favorite post-credit scene with Thanos is when he puts his hand in the gauntlet and says, "Fine, I'll do it myself."
Fine, I'll do it myself.
Yeah, I'm like, just that right there was enough to carry you over. Like it was just like they haven't done that.
You like, oh my God, I don't know what's about to happen. You were ready to go see the next project. Right. It wasn't, I'm gonna go see the next X-Men project. I'm gonna go see the next Spider-Man, or I'll skip everything else and go see Avengers. You wanted to go see everything project because you wanted to know if something else was going to add to that building block. They're not doing that right now.
What's the next movie coming up with Deadpool and Wolverine? I don't know how attached that will be to the last movie we saw, Captain Marvel 2. I don't think that there's really going to be much.
I don't think so. I don't think we dive into that post-credit scene until, because that's the only takeaway from.
Yeah, maybe
from
that will
movie.
match. Maybe that will. Those two scenes.
Because that's the only takeaway to match anything up with that movie.
Is
let me-
Monica in the Fox X-Men universe right now? Is that where she got left off in the Marvels?
No,
That's not what that is.
She is in the X-Men universe that is going to be brought into this to the MCU. She's not.
Those are two different things.
Two
like
different
the
universes.
Fox X-Men universe and what they're bringing in, even though it includes some Fox X-Men, are two different universes.
Two different universes.
How convoluted can we get?
No, but the Fox X-Men universe was convoluted itself. I think whatever universe that Monica is in, like Darius says, I'm definitely sure that's the one that's going to mix with the regular MCU. Now, imagine every movie that you saw, X-Men 1, 2, and 3. That's all canon to that new universe, right? Like, there's going to be little contradictions here and there, but just ignore the little contradictions. That basically happened. Just like in Logan, where they mentioned a lot of this stuff happened, but not exactly like this. Like, you just can imagine X-Men 1, 2, and 3 in
get
Origins.
That, because obviously, I don't think this is the exact Hugh Jackman Wolverine that we saw in those first three X-Men movies, obviously, because he's wearing the blue and yellow suit. I guess my point is, why would that not be the opportunity to connect it back to the MCU? She's already in the X-Men universe. You're going to be dealing with X-Men the entire movie. It seems pretty seamless.
No, because
for Monica Rambeau to pop up or be mentioned or something to connect this whole thing back to the MCU in a very easy way. Like, how many X-Men universes do we need to create just for the sole fact of keeping this shit separate?
Well, all
that
of
is the type of stuff that kind of hurts the connectivity to me.
You just have to imagine.
Take you further away.
Sorry, what was the last part?
When you're making moves to take you further away from where you want to be, you want this stuff to be harmonious. So why keep introducing alternate Fox X-Men universes that aren't tied to the MCU?
Because the alterations are barely any different. Like, instead of
Carol, minor, then just make the minor change.
But
in the existing universe,
the Carol Danvers meets up with Dr. Wendy Lawson. They fly, they do the thing, and she gets her powers on that day. Well, in this one, Monica was looking at her mom. That's where Maria does the thing where she flies her mom, does the thing with Wendy Lawson, gets powers, and she gets abilities. Now, because we read comic books, we know that Captain Marvel joins the X-Men during that time. So we can figure, okay, the universe that Monica Rambeau just landed up in was one where her mom becomes Captain Marvel in the same way that it happened in the MCU. And then we learned those comics where she starts joining the X-Men. That's why she calls herself binary. We have to kind of piece it together and imagine what the X-Men universe is. But we have enough information to do so. We do know where she is and the characters and the origins of everyone. I see Hank McCoy. I heard him sound like Kelsey Grammer. So I'm going to say,
it is Kelsey Grammer for sure.
So that's the same basic character, the same origin that he had in X3. And should they make an alteration, they'll mention that to me in the movie, and I can figure out who he is.
And they did mention Charles as well.
Yeah, he said the word Charles, so we know they have a Charles. I'm imagining that's a Patrick Stewart Charles until I'm proven otherwise. And
so
imagining,
I'm struggling to understand why this has to sit in a play box by itself with no MCU ties. I'm not getting that. Why, if we want that back, why not throw us a bone? How does it help you to have that stand by itself for Deadpool's movie alone?
From my understanding, I think that entire Deadpool universe is being destroyed. Just like the X-Men universe when they get brought over here. I think Deadpool is the only survivor, and the people
is that for the sake of not having the Fox X-Men in it? Okay.
Well, let me put it this way. It's very convoluted. It's very confusing. Like I said, this is all grain of salt because nothing is for sure from Marvel, but they still want those Fox X-Men to be.
See?
Yeah, so I don't know on that one because they still
see if you want them to be involved in your new iteration of X-Men, then stop segmenting them. Start bleeding them in. First of all, man, you've had these properties for far too long not to have reproduced anything off of them in the first place. So again, to that end, we need to start making money off of these things. And we also need this to help perpetuate other MCU content. Why we're doing this two parallel lines running at the same time thing, kill two birds, one stone. Yeah, that's what I would do.
Okay, after Secret Wars comes out in 2027, it's now year 2028. The X-Men of the MCU, are they Hank McCoy being played by Kelsey Grammer? Logan is being played by Hugh Jackman.
No,
Is-
I
I
don't
hope
think
not.
so. So
Yeah,
here's
hope
what I
not.
here's what I
That's
think they're
expensive.
doing. Now here's the rumor, or not rumor. Here's the thought people are thinking, and I guess you can kind of say it's a rumor because it's my time kind of mentioned, and so did Can We Get Some Toast. They may end up keeping Hugh, which is wild. That's crazy.
Keeping him what? Keeping him as Wolverine? That's nasty. That's nasty work.
I'm just thinking of how expensive it is. I'm not opposed to him
It's
acting
so
as Wolverine.
expensive. They just got rid of Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans. They want another one?
Yeah.
So that's but they at the end again there is still the opposing rumor that they still may want their own, a different actor to come in as Wolverine or whatever.
Yeah.
And from
You
what we've
sign a
heard,
guy straight off of acting school, right out of the college that Chadwick Boseman came from, and she can be Storm. You hire someone for like a 12-year contract where they get like the most crappiest circumstances, but they know they'll be famous, and that's your Rogue, and that's your Cyclops. That's the way you do it.
yeah, no, you can bring them. I mean, and if we're to believe the rumors about them not even going the direction of main X-Men with this movie anyway, we're not going to see a Wolverine for a while. We're not going to see because yeah, I know. Even with Magneto's not the main villain of this reboot. It is Mr. Sinister. Magneto is supposed to be doing something. He'll be involved. He's just not going to be the main villain. People are suspecting maybe Brotherhood of Evil Mutants or something like that. But with this new group, it's more so going to be like your Kitty Prydes. It's not going to like Colossus. It's not going to be Cyclops, Jean, Rogue. They're trying to introduce them, but introduce them at a later time or however they're doing that. I want to introduce new X-Men first.
Are we going to be in the school? We're starting out in the school?
That I don't know either. I don't know. So it's just there's a lot of different rumors around the X-Men right now. It's pretty crazy. Marvel did come out with their deal the other day and say that they had hired writer. What's his name? Michael Leslie?
Yeah,
Michael
screen
Leslie.
share me. I got the Michael Leslie filmography, which you guys are going to be so grateful to hear that the one in charge of this expensive $200 million budget film, which is, there we go, Michael Leslie, Michelle Leslie, screenwriter, okay, nominated for a BAFTA, which is cool, for a heavy metal drummer in 2005. It was a short film. Then we got Airlock, or How to Say Goodbye in Space. We got Capture Anthologies, The Dimensions of Self, Skirt, Eleanor. So listen, maybe not have heard of these things, but this is an active writer, okay? Then we got This Play, which you're not supposed to say the name of. We got Assassin's Creed, which was a bad movie. No, he was the writer, but there was some other writers after him. The Little Drummer Girl, writer for 4 episodes. Imagine what the budget is for these things. Hunger Games: Ballad of the Songbirds. Now, this did have a big budget, didn't it? It was a very high budgeted film. Did it gross in the money that we thought it would?
I don't
know.
know.
So how do you go from that to, from an unsuccessful movie? Let me go to Ballad of Songbirds there, which grossed only 337. How do we go, you know what? Who really needs to be in charge of making Marvel movies? The guy who made the Hunger Games: Ballad of Songbirds. Get in here and write this movie for us. I don't know.
He has a pre-colonial thing. He's got a thing for Renaissance.
The Hamlet movie.
Doing Macbeth. Yeah.
What does that say about the X-Men?
Nothing. Not a single thing.
Yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things for me, like I was saying when I first saw it, I have to just wait and see what he does. I mean,
maybe there was a bunch of pitches, Darius, and he had the best pitch. But then again, who's the one judging these pitches? Kevin Feige?
And they were, yeah.
Doubt it. First of all, they're not taking the writer's pitch. They already have a treatment for this movie. They want a writer who's going to come in and work with what they already have, is what they want. They're not taking treatments from outside sources. They are writing up what they want in a shell form, and they want to hand it to an experienced writer and say, can you work with this? And the poor soul that says yes gets to try and make an X-Men movie.
Well, there could be worse names than Michael Leslie, but it's definitely not X-Men tier writer. You're supposed to go and get the dude who had a beef with Lucasfilm. He did Lost. What was his name? Damien Lindelof.
Lindelof.
Love Lost. Love Lost.
Get him.
One of my favorite series.
Same.
Yeah. Damn, I was trying to find what they were saying about some of that other X-Men stuff, but I think is this it? I think so. X-Men movie is in active development at Marvel Studios. Michael Leslie will write the script. The director has not been chosen, but they are eyeing. No, I don't think they are. They are eyeing Ryan Coogler. The film is aiming to be released 2027, 2028. The movie will be focused on a different set of X-Men characters, mostly female.
Now, if it was a stronger writer, if they came forward with a stronger screenwriter, maybe it wouldn't feel so hearing Ryan Coogler's name being mentioned. Somebody who has a stronger influence that would maybe curb some of Ryan's worser kind of reactions or first track mind.
Spike Lee.
But no, it don't gotta be Spike Lee. A Spike Lee Marvel movie would be Luke Cage. Actually, you just gave me an idea. Why? Yes, hell yeah, fuck yeah. Spike Lee doing a Luke Cage movie. First of all, Disney would love something like that because they would press run the hell out of that. Disney is working with
Disney's teaming up with Spike Lee. Oh hell yeah!
Much controversial black director Spike Lee,
Oscar award winning
for the first time. Oscar award winning. They would jizz all over themselves over the opportunity to do that,
and put a black team behind it.
Oh man, it'll be Black Panther all over again.
Oh, that's what's gonna. You took it out of my mouth.
You think
I was just about to say that?
Oh man, you think they allowed Afro-futuristic nation superior to any other thing on earth? What they really wanted to show you was Harlem and drugs and gunfights. They want Luke Cage. That's what they really wanted to show y'all. No, that's what they meant to show y'all. But Black Panther was just a little too successful.
It was an accident.
They wanted to show y'all baby mamas, and Brenda had a baby.
Yep.
Then go home, Felicia. Yeah,
unless we're proven wrong. Hey, Marvel, if you guys are watching, like some people say you guys are watching, prove us wrong. Tell us that you're not about these stereotypes and you're for the greatest, most aspirational character that's ever happened whose skin is dark to continue.
Yeah, please do.
Dan the Man said, X-Men dropping in 2027. That's the same year as Secret Wars Part 2 dropping. So the X-Men movie will be set in the new universe, new cast. Let's go. Yeah, I'm thinking the same thing. It's going to be a new cast. It'll be interesting. But we'll move here to the next thing. And that next thing is that the Star Wars conversation. Acolyte. So Star Wars obviously released a clip of Acolyte, another one. One of the things I think that Disney does terribly is some of their marketing with these clips. I think they release way too much footage, and I'm sure a lot of these clips are going to be in the first 2 episodes. But I think they release way too much footage of things sometimes. But this clip, it's for me, it's the same as the clip they released a few weeks ago. It didn't move the needle for me at all.
Is this the one where they got the lightsaber whip? Is that what we're talking about?
No,
it's the one called May and Soul Fight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
We'll put it up here really quick.
Yeah, because I haven't watched it yet. I was ready to react for it.
Okay.
I'm sharing it already.
Oh, are you?
No, never mind. You got it.
You got it.
Okay.
I've seen this.
So she's May, right?
I believe so.
I like that it's not copyrighted.
Practical fight scene, no CGI. I'm liking that. A lot of choreography. It's not great choreography, but it's good.
Yeah.
Why?
Nah, man, I need my CGI.
Not for stuff like this. This is where I like to see practical fights. They haven't brought out a weapon yet. It's all hand to hand. Gotcha.
Cool. That was a good clip, and it doesn't make me think about identity politics and everything else that is dominating the, at least internet coverage that I've been watching about this whole show.
Yeah,
I thought it was okay. I like practical fighting scenes. That really touches my heart because you just don't see it in big budget television shows all that much anymore. I don't think that scenes like this are going to be the Acolyte's problem. I don't think that's going to be the issue. I think the general story and how it feeds into what we know as the origins of the Jedi already is going to be a lot of the controversy that comes from this show. When they're fighting is probably going to be the best part of it.
Yeah.
I see that. But I can also see that it needs lightsabers, and that's not a Star Wars
Yes,
fight. That's just
definitely,
any TV show.
Definitely needs lightsabers. But I'm understanding that this is supposed to be at a time that
Yeah, it's not as
like the first Sith is the foreman of the first Sith or Sith Lord.
Yeah, they and at this time too, lightsabers were in the High Republic, this era. They use them, but it's not like they're not having to it's not the Clone Wars. They're not having to constantly bring these motherfuckers out. They bring them out, but it's so rare. So it's the fighting. I like that part, but what I really wanted from this clip or something was like, okay, I get it, we're Jedi. I want some. This is Star Wars. I wanted him to at least and obviously this is his teacher or his student. Something I want him to be like enough. Force her or something like that, or maybe. Just like, I don't know. I wanted that.
It was
really.
very much so martial arts. I was getting a lot of martial arts feel, a lot of kung fu feel from that scene.
Yeah.
Which I don't. Out of context, we don't know what was happening, but
True. And I don't mind the martial arts combat fighting. I mean, we see that somewhat in Lucas's telling of it. It's very more hand to hand, like trying to actually maybe bop you in the face type of fighting, because if you watch Anakin and Obi-Wan's hand-to-hand, they're trying to murder one another with their hand-to-hand combat that they're doing. The hand-to-hand, even when Qui-Gon went hand-to-hand with Maul, he slapped the fire out of Maul. He slapped fire out of Maul. Like Maul, they both had their lightsabers down, and Qui-Gon came across his face and pow, So it's like I liked it. I did like it. I guess I just have to wait to see what the show is going to be. I have to really wait to see what, episode to episode, what this show is going to be. You got some big names for this show. Star Wars is always going to do that. They're always going to pull the big names. Look at the Grogu Mando show going after Sigourney Weaver. So, they're always going to try to pull the big names. And I think that they like to I don't know who she's playing. A lot of people are suspecting the villain. I have no idea who she's playing, though.
Is it Thrawn the villain? God,
I don't know. I don't know if the Mando and Grogu stuff can. I don't know. I don't know if they know. So it's just like with all these big names, I feel like they like to rely on these names sometimes and like to fall back on the big names, and having Moss a part of this, and boy from Squid Games, and
I think the acting names will help. I think something that's going to counteract that is we're in a different time period. We don't know anybody. We don't know nobody unless you're doing some deep digging into Star Wars lore. You probably don't know anybody that they're getting ready to introduce. That is going to hurt them.
I will say this too. For you fans that have been, like, if you've read the High Republic books, they will know who some of these characters. I'm not privy to that stuff.
Yeah,
I tried. I couldn't get into it. The High Republic wasn't my thing. But like, I know the green bald girl with the whip lightsaber. She's like one of the main characters in the books. She's got like the whip lightsaber. The Wookiee Jedi. A lot of them are all from those.
How do you feel about that? How do you feel about there being multiple uses for lightsabers? I know I didn't like it on Ezra's gun. The gun saber thing didn't really do it for me. He
Well,
had like the blaster saber. I didn't
yeah,
like.
yeah. No, I saw Theory trying to defend the whip lightsaber in one of his and saying, "Well, whip lightsabers have always been a part of Star Wars," and I'm like,
What
but
a
he pulled
Disney
up-
shill.
Must have missed him. I
And
must
he,
have
well,
missed him.
he that's what I said. He pulled up the clip of when Anakin and Obi-Wan and Ahsoka were slaves in Clone Wars by the Zargarians and the whips they were using. That's not a lightsaber whip. They wrapped that whip it doesn't go in a hilt.
It was just wrapped like an
it was
actual
just
whip.
yeah, and then it lights up electric whenever when they were whipping them. It's not a lightsaber whip. This lightsaber whips, unless I am wrong, I've never seen them in Legends or anything like that. Unless I'm wrong, they were introduced in the High Republic.
I don't care for it, and I know that High
It
Republic,
looks silly to me.
the success of High Republic, or whether it'll continue or not, is really based on the show. When the viewership turns out to be low, then bye. Like there goes the High Republic initiative. The whole, and I'm happy they were doing High Republic rather than wasting their time on like some Star Wars era that has Luke Skywalker in it and ruining that. Yeah, guys, good job. Go to the past. Go write your little comic novels and everything, talking about what happened all the way back there. Awesome.
Let me show you this bullshit then, since we're talking about getting away from Luke Skywalker and the Skywalkers and shit. Hold your horses.
A lightsaber to me also can't be like bendy. It's gotta like just shoot right up. It's
Have
this
some
heavy thing.
constitution, yeah.
This is coming from My Time to Shine. Hello. Dave Filoni has spoken with Lucasfilm about a live-action Clone Wars miniseries, and my biggest question is for fucking why? Why?
A live action Clone Wars miniseries, but we literally just sold all that up in Ahsoka.
It's like I
just
said,
did this.
they can't get away from the Skywalker. They can't. They don't know how. They don't know how. Dave's focus should not be on retelling. You just finished the Clone Wars.
Yeah,
Why are you
leave
wanting
Clone
to
Wars
tell
alone.
it again?
Leave
Like,
Clone Wars alone.
I would
And
be
my
okay.
thing is,
No,
what is it gonna?
the timeline, yes. But if you're telling me about the clones and Anakin and Obi-Wan, then I'm saying no.
What do you mean timeline?
I mean the time period, the year that it was during the Clone Wars. If it
Oh,
was
the
happening,
Clone Wars. Like, yeah,
Well,
there's.
how many times do we need to go back to that though? How many times do we need to go back to that time? You know, when they activated all the clones, and then Order 66, and then like, well, why we need to keep doing that?
It was an important time. It was only a couple years. That felt like 7 years because
Right,
of the
but how
cartoon.
many in-depth looks? How many more perspectives can we add to it though?
Bro.
You'll only get 1 year of it. You'll only get 1 year of it, and then the actors will age, and everyone will be talking about what happened the year afterwards. Like Bad Batch happens the year after Clone Wars comes to an end after Revenge of the Sith. I'm not mad at
Yeah.
Bad Batch for going couple years after that.
No, I'm not. But I get what Marcus is saying is we have you can go there's on YouTube right now. You can watch a 20-minute montage of all the different perspectives of Order 66 that we've got now. When at one point, which I'm not mad about because when we got some of those different perspectives, I'm like, that it's dope. We get to see all these different perspectives of Order 66. Like my favorite is Ahsoka's perspective of it. But it's like, damn. I don't
Like,
need
we've
to
seen
see like, okay, the clones come in, they kill the Jedi. We know that. Like, so my thing with this miniseries, if it's real, I don't believe anything until Lucasfilm. Until I press play on Disney Plus from Lucasfilm, it's not real. But if this is real, what stories are you telling? Are you retelling animated stories we've already seen, or are you going to your route, Chill, like you were saying? Are you telling different stories? But even if you are telling different stories that we haven't seen, it's still the Clone Wars era. Just do there's the Galactic Civil War. There are so many other war eras outside of the Clone Wars era in Star Wars that you can tell. Like when Palpatine was in his reign, there was the Galactic Civil War. You could tell that if you want to keep on with the Skywalker stuff.
I mean, hey, we did just kind of pop up in Rise of Skywalker with a fully formed Palpatine clone. We could talk about what happened in between Moff Gideon and the clone coming online in Rise of Skywalker. Are we ever going to touch it? Are we ever going to look at it? Are we going to complete that arc at any point in time?
Yeah, no.
I'm fine if they never do.
And then there was this. I didn't believe this either. Just keeping up with the Star Wars stuff here.
Before you read that next scoop,
go
can I
ahead.
say something about my time?
Yes.
That post that you just saw, Dave Filoni is notoriously secretive. For something like that to come out, it's a surprise to me. I
Yeah.
also am suspecting my time challenge low is actually Disney, is actually them. One of the give like big tells is when Can We Get Some Toast went down, or they're trying to get that person's real identity. I think they asked Instagram for it, and then not My Time. And I'm looking at My Time, and that's supposed to be a woman, like it's a she. Man, that is the most company. Well, we're gonna make a fake scooper. Let's make her a female. That's only Disney with things like that.
Yeah. No,
Make a fake scooper.
you're
Fake
onto
scooper.
something.
It's let's see what the Dariuses of the world think about a show live action in the Clone Wars. Oh, that's the feedback. Cool. That's the reason why we made this scoop.
Could be. You're not the only person that has, said that they think that My Time is a Disney worker, because
Disney.
yeah, it's crazy.
Disney
But
doing
this-
counterintelligence online. That is hilarious. They're trying to be the internet CIA.
This one was crazy too. Also coming from My Time, I think a lot of the time though, My Time will tweet shit just to tweet shit. Like when she tweeted the other day, nothing from Ahsoka's memorable, everything from Andor's memorable. Stop. Hayden Christensen showing up in Ahsoka was enough to stop. Stop it. And he showed up in the Clone Wars armor. Like, no.
Everything from Andor is memorable. You know what I remember about Andor? He's dead. That's what I remember. That's what I remember about Cassian Andor. He's deceased.
Yeah. So a Knights of the Old Republic, Knights of the Republic will reportedly be adapted as a Disney Plus series. Bullshit. Now maybe they're looking at the success of the old New Republic, whatever the Acolyte. Maybe I don't believe this. You can't even remake the game. You won't even remaster the game. So if you won't remake the game, and what makes me believe they are going to put the Lucasfilm, Disney is going to put the money into telling, and who's this under? Kathleen Kennedy, who hates the Legends material. Kathleen Kennedy hates Legends material. They're not. No, it's not happening. And I'm so sick of people telling me, well, give Kathleen a break. She did make
Fuck
E.T.
no.
I don't give a shit if she made E.T.
No breaks. No breaks.
I don't care.
Put the pressure
so
on that old lady. Get her up out of here.
Yeah,
she's
no,
like
she's
70
gotta
years
go.
old now. She's really old. She needs to retire.
She is. She
And
needs to go.
She can go, and no one will think anything of it because that's what 70-year-olds do. They enjoy the rest of their lives.
Yeah, I don't understand what's going on. I don't know if Iger is
Appreciate
giving
that,
her
Spoiler
enough
Kings.
rope.
Thank you so much.
Appreciate that, Spoiler Kings. I don't know if he's giving her enough rope to hang herself. I don't know if this is. I don't want to be seen as dragging out one of Hollywood's, darlings, one of the last dinosaurs from a bygone age of Hollywood. I don't want to be seen putting her out to pasture. I need to let her fail on her own merit. The problem is she's already done that.
She has.
She's every Star Wars film since not New Hope. Fucking what was episode
Rise?
Force
7?
Awakens.
Force Awakens. There you go. Lost a little bit of money. Lost a little bit of money. Lost a little bit of money. She's already failed on the merits. You don't need anything any more public than them laughing at her at last year's Cannes Film Festival when they showed up there with Indiana Jones. You got laughed at a film festival. You're Disney. You're Lucasfilm.
You know
They
something else
laughed
happened?
at you at a place that is built to shill.
Something else happened that day when she went into the 2-hour movie. That was when Variety posted an article, something to do with Star Wars, and it was when she. I guess she had to turn her phone off.
The cruiser, the Star Cruiser hotel closing.
That was that. Yeah, and people are speculating that Bob Iger got Variety to do that for him right when she was going in.
Well, fam, if you're not going to fire her, why? What was the point?
I don't know, but the Mandalorian Grogu movie is happening, and it's a Jon Favreau thing. We know Jon Favreau is a different camp than the Kathleen Kennedy camp, and that's happening. They're not firing her, but it's as if there's a project happening there which she's got nothing to do with, and that she resents, and that she hates that it took the spot that was supposed to go to her precious movie about the dawn of the new Jedi, Rey, whatever it was.
If there is a follow-up to Acolyte, then I think at this point we should just prepare for Kathleen to succeed Bob Iger whenever he runs for president or whatever the hell he's going to do next. I don't think she's ever going to go. If she gets a follow-up to the Acolyte after the Acolyte spent as much money as it did getting made, and they get a follow-up to that, anything, just expect her to be running Disney in a few years, y'all. She's got something on Iger that's keeping her there.
Something's keeping her there. I think it's just optics. It's a woman. Why fire the first woman lead? You're supposed to act like she was a success.
But why not have that same kind of feeling for Victoria Alonso? That's what really makes it not make sense to me. Vicky was out, but Kathleen stays. If we're just doing it on the merit, I'd take Victoria Alonso 10 times over Kathleen Kennedy.
Yeah.
Now, we get some of the same issues with both parties, but it's much more checkable on the side of Victoria Alonso as opposed to Kathleen Kennedy.
With Kathleen's just having too many issues with everybody she's coming in contact with. Like, she's even had issues with Favreau. You know, that's why, rumored wise, that's why season 3 of The Mandalorian was so fucking, or season 2. Season 2 was so three.
Season 2 was good.
Yeah. Season 3 was so messy. Was because they were having, Favreau and her were having problems behind the scenes. Like, she wanted Grogu. That's why Grogu's back, because that was a Kathleen thing that we heard. She wanted Grogu back. She wanted Grogu back, and Favreau was like, that diminishes what we just did. It diminishes him going with Luke.
All over it.
So it's like. Yeah, so, and, you know, obviously had the problem with the Duffer Brothers. That's why they are not doing their movie anymore. Rumored had problems with Feige. That's why he's no longer doing his.
The Abrams movie is what we needed.
Yeah.
The Abrams movie is what Star Wars needed. Almost 100 years into the future, we've abandoned the Skywalker series, right? We're going to have a Black Jedi for the first time ever. It's going to be Yahya Abdul-Mateen.
Lindelof.
That was Lindelof, sorry.
Yes, Lindelof.
Well, wait. Lindelof was writing, wasn't it? Abrams directing?
Was Abrams directing that?
No.
Or am I off? Okay.
Nah, it was a...
Maybe I'm putting projects together.
I don't remember who the director was. There was no director. That's why he was surprised that they got Charmin Obaid-Chinoy. And that was him going, wait, I make this movie... And you're gonna put a rookie director on it, like he was.
Yeah, the Lindelof one is what we needed for sure.
Yeah, well, we're still getting the what's his name, starts with an M.
Mangold.
You're getting the Mangold one, Dawn of the Jedi. That's the one.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I mean, you know,
after Indiana Jones, you know, you're supposed to again, like, how do they find these people? Yeah, this is crazy.
Yeah,
and that's clearly Kathleen Kennedy's goal.
Oh,
and if it does happen. I can easily not watch that movie. It doesn't have any characters that happen here. Just like I didn't watch the Han Solo's film. I'll never watch it. I don't need to watch it. It's unrequired. I don't trust the Disney and their storytelling. All I know is, how did you get your name? Solo. I heard about that scene. I have no interest in the Kessel Run.
Scene.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Boom.
Scene.
So I'm not gonna watch the Mangold movie if it does come to fruition, or the Ray movie. I'm good on the Ray.
Was
Logan just the? I don't. There's no way.
I'm telling you, I don't think so either. But they're saying there's the older Ray movie where Helen Mirren's going to play her, and they have the Ray movie.
Mirren, a future character in a Star Wars film, fam.
But she's not. She's doing no action. It's a bunch of flashbacks and her remembering.
She ain't doing no action. Goddamn Mirren. They gonna get her out the hospital to go shoot this movie.
Kennedy turns 71 years old in a couple of weeks. By the time that Ray movie does come out, she'll be how old? By then, just age will have to have caught up, and she's not the president anymore.
See, the last I heard on the Ray movie is that they really didn't know when it was supposed to start. How did y'all bring her on stage, show her at Star Wars Celebration, announce this big overhaul of the slate, and we don't even have a date to start shooting yet? Your lead doesn't know? Like, she's not telling other studios, hey, I'm busy for the next 8 months or anything like that. She's still out here fielding offers.
You think that she has other studios? No, she doesn't. Now, shout out to her for getting $12 million.
Other work. It may not be big work, but maybe she's still working. I think she's still working.
Nothing takes precedence over Star Wars.
Poor her. She got so hurt from this, from her Ray. And it's not her. Again, I've said this so many times. I don't think it's not Daisy.
Fantastic actor. Daisy really is a good actor.
Yes, and I'm sure out behind the camera, she is a lovely individual. It's just the character she plays. I do. They have not. I cannot stand Ray. I can't. My biggest thing with Ray it's that she is Star Wars Jesus. She literally is. It's the fact that she.
It's the Mary Sue arc. Everything has come easy for Ray.
Everything.
We watched Luke
struggle.
Family, like literally in the first movie, Luke's family was burnt to a crisp. right? Like we never even have to worry about any of that with Rey because she never has anybody. By the end of the first movie, her family has been replaced. That is her family. That's the only family she's ever known. It's Chewbacca, Han Solo, and Poe and Finn.
Yeah.
The only family she's ever known. We don't have to deal with the trauma of her being severed from her family. We don't even deal with that shit until the horrid Rise of Skywalker.
Horrid.
Don't even touch it until the very end of the last movie.
And when they do, it's so messy.
Yes, everything came easy to her. Her force power is stronger than any Jedi ever.
She is all of the
go
Jedi.
Find Luke and read him the riot act. She doesn't actually have to fight her sworn enemy, her nemesis, her rival, because she's gonna fall in love with him. It's just there's too much there.
Yeah,
Perfect character.
I can't stand the Rey character. And like I said, as far as Star Wars goes right now, even the little skeleton crew thing that came out, I don't know if you saw that. Did you see the picture that came out for skeleton crew? I'm going to tell you, I already was not interested in skeleton crew, and I'm still not interested in skeleton crew. I just don't, I don't know what this.
Skeleton crew, the Patty Jenkins project?
No,
that was Rogue something.
That was Rogue Squadron.
There you go.
Yes,
skeleton crew's by the guy who did the Spider-Man movies.
Yes, this is by John Watts. It is going to be the lead is Jude Law, and it is going to be following these children here as they travel through space with Jude Law.
I'm interested.
I like Jude Law. I like John Watts.
I like John Watts.
I
believe it takes place during the period of Mandalorian. So I want to see these guys cross over, and if they're Jedi,
awesome. If they're Jedi, that's different. That's cool. I believe Jude Law is a Jedi. I believe he is. And then also people are thinking that this is where we're going to see our live action Omega, because they aged her up at the last episode, so she joined the rebellion. People think she might show up here. I don't know. Skeleton Crew. I really don't know what this is about. I don't, outside of Jude Law hanging out with these kids in space.
But it's been filmed.
Yeah.
It's done.
It's done.
Oh boy.
It is done.
Oh boy, I'm optimistic about that one. That's not no Acolyte. That's the one that's going to mix in with Ahsoka.
The same people that we were just talking about that we don't trust to do all that other stuff and that did all of that other stuff, they're still here. They're still in charge. They're still driving.
No, this was a Favreau Filoni backed project.
No one's going to watch this. No one's going to watch this. I'm telling you, right? Mark, what is this? This is, mark my words, mark this stream, clip this. No one is going to watch
I'm not interested in the viewership of it. Well, fine. No one will watch it. I'll watch it and I'll probably like it because John Watts.
That's fantastic, and that's okay too, because there's a lot of shit that I love that people don't like. That's fine. I'm just saying, as far as like, does this do anything for Lucasfilm? Absolutely not. This is going to do nothing for them.
There are Jedi there. How does that have not help? We
want there to be Jedi there. We have no clue what these kids are doing. Well, I don't know shit about Rogue Squadron. I don't know anything about it.
All right.
So if there are Jedi there, then yeah, that bodes well. And then also I know that the creator that is in charge of this is pretty good, and I like Jude Law, so like there's a lot going well for it. This is more brand reputation than anything,
but it's
right?
But the brand reputation is Kathleen Kennedy, and she's not as hands-on with this one.
You can't boil everything down to Kathleen Kennedy. Filoni was the one who wrote those episodes of Boba Fett that put Grogu right back with Mando.
Dan John,
right? So, like,
and he wrote it because Kathleen Kennedy made it happen. Like,
sure, but he could have turncoat and stuck on the Favreau side of things. Like it's just not all Kathleen Kennedy.
Here's why I think, even though Kathleen Kennedy may not have her like stamp, her name or whatever on this show, we have to start thinking about this too. John Watts, they went with John Watts because one, he's already in-house. He's already in-house. You just did this with Marvel, so let's just pull this play safe director that plays by the rules of Disney.
He pitched it.
Oh, he did pitch it, but he's still in-house. Just like Matt Shackman getting pulled over for Fantastic Four. He just did WandaVision. Let's pull him over for it's an in-house thing. So I don't know. I'm not saying that John Watts is going to do a terrible job. I don't think that at all. I'm just saying where my perspective with this was coming from was the fans are Star Wars fans are the most. It is a divided fandom. It is a very divided fandom. I guess my biggest thing is outside of the scoopers sharing this picture, I've not heard. There's no conversation about it. Just like there was no conversation about Bad Batch. There was no conversation about. There's nobody really talking about the Acolyte.
There would be no conversation about Mandalorian either off of the name Mandalorian. It just so happened to launch with Disney Plus. There was nothing new to watch, and boom! If you like Star Wars, you like Mandalorian.
But even with that though, it's just like we had come off of even with the Mandalorian 2018. The last Star Wars film you got before the Mandalorian was
Solo. It was Last Jedi, Solo, and then Mandalorian started, and a couple of months later, the last what was it? Episode 9 came out.
Yes. But with Mando, that was like you got we also had Rogue One before that too. So we had a couple that Disney project as well. And to me, that was the best thing they had done before Mandalorian. But with Mando, that was so it was fresh, it was new, it was exciting. It was still an exciting time in Star Wars with Disney, though. It still was somewhat an exciting, even though we came off of The Last Jedi, it still somewhat was exciting because we were coming off of Rogue One as well. Rogue One was fucking brilliant. So you're coming off of Rogue One, and you're going into
Disney Plus just launched.
Disney Plus had just launched. Then there was the appeal of that of Grogu.
Yes.
Because it was like, who is this Yoda? Obviously, there was that whole thing. What's the appeal with Skeleton Crew? The elephant in the back? Him?
I don't know. When a lightsaber lights up, maybe.
The elephant in the room.
Maybe they're all Jedi.
And that would be so dope. Maybe they are.
I really hope that's the case.
And again, I want to be wrong because I love Star Wars. I want to come in here and be like, bro, Skeleton Crew is the shit. I just feel like I'm gonna come in here and say the opposite. It is shit.
What time period is this in? What are we dealing with?
I'm pretty sure it's the Mandalorian time period, like 6 years after Return of the Jedi.
Okay.
Yeah, it's that time.
The present
so we'll
day,
see.
pretty much. Okay.
We'll see how it does. But it is done. It is done, and it's happening, and it is. It does. I think it comes out next year. 2025.
Yeah, because they've been stretching apart all of their releases because they just realized like making many shows come on Disney Plus isn't a profitable decision. But like, hey, we got our Ironheart. We already got these shows that we've already produced. Let's just space them out, the releases.
Yeah.
Spending too much a year.
Yeah.
For nothing.
Okay.
Shout out Bob Chapek.
Now,
actually,
no, go ahead.
Fine, no, we're good.
No, go ahead.
It's not Bob Chapek's fault that he said we need to make Star Wars shows and Marvel shows to push Disney Plus. That actually makes sense on paper.
It's
Kevin Feige. It's what's her name? That other one.
Creators,
who are not making them like good or consequential or tied in with the movies. In the case of Marvel, if I'm Marvel, I'm doing a Ironheart show, and then check out Wakanda Forever. I'm doing a WandaVision, and then a month later, Doctor Strange is in the movie theaters. I'm doing
Unison.
Moon Knight, Ms. Marvel, just throw anything. Oh, this was a rejected movie script. Let's do the War Machine thing. Like, it's just
Chapek's problem was I think he over leveraged into streaming, but a lot of the entire industry over leveraged into streaming. Everybody's struggling with that right now. If they would have, I think, taken his idea of overhauling the slate back when he wanted to do it, back before Phase 4 actually got rolling, we wouldn't be here today. Now, I'm not gonna plant my flag in the Chapek camp or whatever. I don't know what financial misgivings he had going on over there, but he had the right idea with streamlining this content, right? He had the right idea with how to get disaffected fans back. And Bob Iger has still yet to do that. We're still talking about they're going to get it together. He took over for Chapek like 2-3 years ago.
Yeah.
And we're still not in a better place. So I don't totally kill Chapek for what he was trying to change.
Yeah. And with those changes, just to kind of go back to where we were just really quickly here, when we were talking about the Avengers stuff. I guess what they're saying, and this is coming from some of the scoopers, Avengers 5 may have moved from Kang, so not doing Kang entirely, and may just Avengers 5, and may be centered on a much more grounded storyline to develop the new roster of Avengers. So who's the villain then? Like, what would the villain be? Just some rando, I'm here to take over the world?
What Avenger movie have we ever watched that was grounded? Avengers 1, we had the Chitauri invading New York. Age of Ultron, super robot, super AI. You had Civil War. Nothing grounded about a superhero Civil War. Infinity War, Endgame. What Avenger movie has ever been grounded?
And then it just makes you, like I said, you wonder too, who, when you say grounded, is this just like some story y'all are pulling out of your ass, like some random, is Mole Man just, like, I think the end of Incredibles when I think this grounded version, like just some random villain popping out saying,
They woke up and realized, oh shit, we only got street level characters. I think we need to back off some of this cosmic stuff. We got Moon Knight, we got Captain American Falcon, we got Kate Bishop, we got Shang-Chi.
You got them right
God
here.
damn, we got a lot of street level. What happened to all our cosmic level threats?
There they are.
Jesus.
Oh, Yelena.
So missing from this picture is who? Shuri.
She not even
Shang-Chi.
like Jane Foster up in here. She ain't coming back.
She's dead. Yeah, she's dead.
She ain't coming back. And then She-Hulk, Lord Jesus Christ. You know what? I will say I will watch She-Hulk in anywhere that she's not in her own show. Right? Like I feel like there's still potential for She-Hulk as a character being written by somebody else.
For sure, written by somebody else.
That writing team did her a huge disservice.
Yeah.
Damn, this is Avengers. Really think about that.
Yeah.
But again, we're missing. This doesn't like help it. But you're missing Shang-Chi. You're missing because he is gotten brought into the Avengers, I guess. You're missing Shuri. We're missing Doctor Strange, Captain Marvel, Wong.
But is Doctor Strange going to be a part of the Avengers? He's doing that stuff with Clea, right? So he might not even.
Yeah.
He can't be
you know what's crazy, Marcus? They wrote the end of the movie that way so that if they don't find a deal with Benedict Cumberbatch, then they don't need to use him. That's why he was written that way.
Okay, that makes sense.
Outside of those ones, I think that's it. Spider-Man, but that's it. That's missing.
How many more appearances are we on contract for Spider-Man?
2.
Is it 1, 2,
3? 3. He's got his movie.
Okay. Yeah.
No, he's got more than 3. He's got his movie. He's got the Avengers 5, Secret Wars, and that's it. Actually.
Okay.
Yeah, in the MCU wise, yeah.
Yeah, you got to get him in here. You have to. And honestly, he might end up being the leader.
That's what they are saying. That's what they were saying.
But think about it though, like the 18-year-old is leading Sam Wilson and Rhodey.
Bro, I've said this is why I have said they're going to struggle with Brave New World.
Yeah, this doesn't read like. I understand why it makes sense because obviously Tom Hardy's more popular than Anthony Mackie. The character of Spider-Man is more popular than Sam Wilson. But where we are at, Peter's going to college. Sam has been he's a war vet. So is Rhodey. Rhodey's a general. They're not sitting around taking orders from Peter Parker, regardless of how strong he is.
But you hit it with the regardless. I was gonna say the difference in Peter and those two is he actually has superpowers,
and that's fine. But they literally saw this kid his first appearance. He was a kid. Like
kicked their ass.
Gave him a whooping and told him to go home after the fight.
Yeah,
ain't no way. I'm sitting in the Situation Room getting briefed by Peter Parker.
Right. The same way that Wong is the Sorcerer Supreme and Doctor Strange is just the rookie, he's just really a student and he's the focus of the movie. That's the same thing that's going to happen. Spider-Man is going to be the focus of the movie. He may not be standing in the middle during the beginning, but during the final fight when it's the villain against Spider-Man, it'll be clear he is who we're seeing the story through.
This is such a weak team.
Imagine, Sam getting lectured by Spider-Man, who the last time he saw Spider-Man, well, not the last time he saw Spider-Man, last time I guess they really had a conversation because they didn't have any conversations within Infinity War or anything like that. He was kicking his ass in an airport.
Him and Bucky.
Yeah, him and Bucky.
Is Yelena splitting time between here and Thunder Ass? Or sorry, Thunderbolts?
I guess so. I guess
They had
Halftime
so much.
Avenger, halftime Thunderbolt.
They could have canceled that movie while they're canceling movies. How the hell did you not cancel it? How do you go Thunderbolts will make more money than Blade? How do you think that way?
The fact that they are shooting Thunderbolts
Yeah.
and Blade is getting pushed to 2026. Are they not embarrassed that they announced that movie in 2019? It will be 7 years later.
Oh yeah.
Like,
yeah.
come on, man.
I'm so happy that Deadpool and Wolverine is happening though. It's Sean Levy and it's got Ryan, not Gosling, Ryan, you know the one. They're gonna do a good job with that movie. I'm pretty sure about it. I'm confident. I'm watching all the publicity and the interest in fans, in general audiences, and I'm like, it's a really good moment. Just like Guardian 3 was a good moment, and then we had to watch Secret Invasion, and then we had to watch some of the other shows, and it was surrounded by Quantumania and Captain Marvel 2. There's moments, and I'm gonna value the moments like Deadpool.
Sure.
Yeah. No, I like Yelena too, Bird. I think she's solid too. But like William said, Cassie Lang and the Ant family, they're still the Ant family. We know Cassie Lang. I don't know why they have Haley here. Haley's going to be with the Young Avengers. The Young Avengers, if they're still doing what they were going to, I don't even know. They're still doing the Young Avengers.
Again, what did we cancel? I even heard an Armor Wars mention the other day. What did we cut?
Apparently nothing, because Vision
Nothing got cut. They just blew smoke up our ass, literally.
Yeah, apparently nothing.
Lied. Like nothing got cut.
They want Amon Benali and Haley.
Thunderbolt's still here. Young Avengers still here. What did you cut?
None of it. Yeah, it's all happening. It's all still happening. The Young Avengers, they really need to reevaluate that being a film. I don't know whose idea that is. I don't know who told them, hey, this would be a great film. I'm going to tell you right now, with a mediocre Avengers 5 coming, no one's going to be running to the theater to watch a Young Avengers film.
Damn, Haley Steinfeld's going to be like well in her 30s by the time that movie comes out. Like she going to be like 30, 32, 33.
How old is she now?
Got to be mid to late 20s.
You've got her and Amon Benali that are leading the team.
Because that film's not even in development yet.
No.
So we're a good five years off.
She's 27. You're right.
27 years old. Yes. She's going to be well in her 30s.
Yeah.
Leading the young Avengers, the young-ish Avengers.
Yeah.
She's going to be the old auntie.
Yeah. And, if they set it up at the end of the Marvels, with Amon telling her, I heard Ant-Man's got a daughter, so they're going to go after Cassie. Who else the Young Avengers could be? I'm assuming are going to be Eli Bradley from The Falcon and the Winter Soldier as Patriot. The twins.
Of course, he'll be motivated by the fact that his grandfather went berserk and
probably some twisted shit like that. That you'll have the twins from Agatha. You'll have possibly Scar. Kid Loki, maybe.
And is this a TV show or a movie, Young Avengers?
This is supposed to be a film.
So is Scar and Billy going to be a thing?
I don't know because we don't even know if the kid that's rumored to be playing Hulkling is going to be him.
Gray just asked who's watching this movie.
No one. That's what.
Yeah.
And I don't want to make it sound like I was never excited for a Young Avengers film. At one point in time, the Young Avengers film appealed me just because the only storyline that really appeals to anybody in Marvel Comics when it comes to Young Avengers, and that is Children's Crusade. But you have a lot of elements with Children's Crusade that you don't have in the MCU. You don't have Doctor Doom. You don't have Magneto. You don't have the X-Men.
You don't have Wanda. She's dead.
Yeah, you don't have Wanda. You can't that storyline doesn't work that way. So I don't know what and apparently you're moving away from Kang, maybe. I don't know. So you don't have the linchpin of that story there, which is
House of M.
What is it? Yes. And what's the kid's name? What's his name? What's Kang's name from the future? The kid?
Iron
Lad.
Iron Lad. So I don't know what they're doing. I don't know what they're doing with that. I don't know what the Young Avengers film is going to look like or anything like that. But
They did Infinity War without Adam Warlock. They did without Silver Surfer. So
they can do. My thing is, but that Children's Crusade is such a. There's so many elements into that story as to the reason why, like, the X-Men are wanting to kill Wanda. Why she is with Doctor Doom. You know, not to say that you have to literally take it panel for panel. You know, word for word that way. I'm just like, what does a Children's Crusade in the MCU look like? That's interesting. Be interesting.
Hopefully nothing like Secret Invasion.
Yeah. Oh God, I forget about that. But the next thing and then last thing on the list was the Deadpool marketing. The marketing that's been going on for Deadpool. Chill, did you have something to pull up for that?
Yeah, I'm just not ready. Deadpool. Did you see the ones where they're like, turn off your phones?
It is all over. I can play that really quick. It is right here.
I saw that one, yeah. And I thought it was cool. There's no audio.
There's no audio?
Yeah, there's no audio.
Okay. Well, play it here.
Go to your speaker over there. You all the way up.
Yeah,
but it's unique, right?
maybe
It
the
makes
audience
it makes you think about like how this is a different experience, you know, Deadpool talking to you.
Here, chill, play it.
Okay.
Oh shit. Do you have it pulled up somewhere?
No. Tag me, I'll
All right, I tagged you.
Hey, Bob. You're in a movie theater, not the off room in your mom's nursing home. So turn your phone to silent or I'll shove it so far up your answer it through your
No. Easy now. Easy now. So much testosterone. It's not when you yell like that.
Oh my God.
At least I think it's nice. Listen, just turn your phones off or put them on silent. You know, whatever you prefer. I'm gonna take his neck veins for a walk now. Enjoy the film. Nice fourth wall break back there. I didn't think you had it in you. Shut down. No. They do not like that word in America or Canada.
I think that's what I'm talking about, man. I'm not thinking about movies the same way I think about the regular movies where there's action, there's a guy with a deep voice talking, trying to explain things to you. It's just fun and it's out of the box. And there's people, the ad is so good that it's not just the people sitting in the theater, the 30 or 40 people watching the screen during the pre-movie. It's being recorded on a phone and being put on the internet. That's how effective the ad is, that the fans themselves are advertising the ad. That's what I'm talking about. This is $1 billion movie.
Oh yeah.
You remember when the Doom premiere happened? They had the like the sandworm buckets, the popcorn buckets,
the funny ones.
Yeah. Can you imagine what the buckets for Deadpool are going to look like?
Ryan said he's making them, so he's helping design them. So
oh my God. I just imagine like Deadpool on all fours, and that's where you get your popcorn from. That's what I'm saying. I already have it in my head.
Listen, I take a popcorn bucket to the movie theater with me every time. I take I've had this popcorn. This current one I've had probably since Willy Wonka. I've had this one since Willy Wonka. And I take it with me every time. I just get my free refill and my free drink. I'm actually buying a new bucket for Deadpool and Wolverine. Yeah,
you don't even know what it is.
I got one.
I don't, but I'm buying it.
I got a pretty big bucket from Endgame that I keep around. I don't take it back out the house though. That's a home thing.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No, I'm telling you, I love Ryan Reynolds as Deadpool, and him anytime. Just it's funny as fuck as Deadpool, bro. Like the first trailer was really funny. The second one, this most newest newest thing that they showed where he was on top of him or Deadpool was on top of Hugh, and he said. Get off of me or something. He said, wait a minute, I'm almost done. And he said, done with what? Shit is funny. It's funny. So I think it's going to be a good movie. I think it's going to be a good movie. I think it's going to be, like you said, $1 billion movie. It's already tracking ahead of the other two at a 200 million opening weekend domestically. So
That's huge. That's huge.
Yeah,
Domestically, that would be
domestically, that's what it's
gigantic.
tracking
Jesus
right now.
Christ.
So yeah, it's I think it's going to be huge. I think it's going to be a really big film. I'm excited for it. Yeah. I want to see this bucket that Ryan is helping them design.
Man, that shit gonna be wild. I already know.
I don't want them to show anything else though. No more. I hope that the trailer we got. I know we're still 2 months away. I hope that was it. I hope that was the last trailer.
Yeah, for sure. Only thing that I've seen of it was the so far in promotion. I've obviously seen the announcement where Hugh Jackman was going to be in it. I saw the initial trailer and then I hit stop. Stop. I haven't seen anything else promotional. I didn't even see that. We just went to go see Kong and Godzilla. I didn't see that in there.
It must be
Maybe
new.
it was.
I only just saw it yesterday.
For sure.
And were they standing at the very beginning of this? Where are they standing? Oh no, okay, never mind. I thought that was like the Sanctum. It looked like it, but no, or not the Sanctum, but yeah. That's what it looked like in the window there, like when the window first opens. But I think I'm wrong.
Official Liam G says 150 million plus opening. That's still good. And then William says it'll make 800 million. I guess you mean total worldwide. That'd be disappointing.
That
Because that's what Wakanda whatever made.
Where Guardians 3 hit.
And I don't think it's a Guardians 3. I really think that Deadpool and Wolverine are bigger stars than Peter Quill and Gamora.
Yeah. Hugh Jackman and Ryan Reynolds.
And it's not just Deadpool and Wolverine either. Once, for the people that are saying, oh, I'll catch it or whatever, that maybe aren't even talking about it right now, once word of mouth goes around and people come out of the theater and say, yeah, it's not just Deadpool and Wolverine. It's, if we're to believe some of these rumors, some of these cameos are crazy. So once that word gets out, people are going to be like, oh, I'm definitely going to see this.
Sad thing is it doesn't need the cameos. Avengers Secret Wars needs the cameos.
Yeah, Secret Wars needs the cameos for sure. I think the biggest draw to this is the Fox X-Men cameos or the Fox property cameos. I think that's just the biggest draw for a lot of people because it's going to be like, possibly the Fantastic Four from Fox Universe, possibly the X-Men from that universe. So should be. I think that's a draw to it as well. The first two Deadpools, I think the second one, what was it, 180 something on its first domestic weekend or something it did. I don't remember, but I think if those two did that on their own, now you're adding all these elements, it's easily $1 billion film. Easily. And it's the MCU too. You've now got the MCU fans, for fans that just weren't, not everybody watched Deadpool. The first two, but now that you've got MCU fans, I've seen people say, "Oh, I didn't pay attention to the first two Deadpools because I just really wasn't that interested in them like that." But now that he's joining the MCU with these elements here, I watched Loki, the TVA's involved. People are going to watch.
The first Deadpool opened 132 million. The second Deadpool opened 125 million. Remember, it was around the time while the first Black Panther was coming out. I guess that it took some of the superhero money. It should have made more with the second one.
By the end of Deadpool Wolverine, where is Deadpool? Where is Wade?
The MCU. He's made it. That's the plot of the movie. I need to escape, and they keep having these incursions. Where is it safe? I know. The universe with Feige. Let's go to the MCU.
Yeah, the MCU is where he will end up, and where he's going to be. And Feige said that he does want Deadpool to. I don't know how that looks, but Deadpool to interact with people in Secret Wars.
There's a potential to really like work a rolling break the fourth wall kind of situation going on with Deadpool if they play it right.
Yeah,
like there's a way to keep Ryan Reynolds in the character of Deadpool relevant for a decade, and you don't even have to make another movie if they do it right. If they use them right, we'll see how it goes.
And Sean Levy said, when asked, he said, well, no, this isn't Deadpool 3. This is Deadpool and Wolverine. So I don't know if that is cryptic thinking as if maybe they have another third film up their sleeve somewhere in the MCU. I don't know. But he said this is not Deadpool 3. This is Deadpool and Wolverine.
No, that's
that too.
They only say that so that you don't have to feel like you have to watch the first two. because it's new reader friendly or new viewer friendly.
That's true.
That too. That
I could
too.
also see him kind of hedging though, like, maybe I'm along for another third one. Stick around and see. Maybe I won't be.
I can tell you
depending on how
this,
this one goes.
especially I think Marvel is very happy with Sean leaving. I think they are very happy with what he produced with Deadpool, and that is why, if we're to believe the rumors, he is being eyed for Secret Wars. They really like, when you do a good job, that like Matt Chapman, WandaVision was a success. Put him on Fantastic Four. He's already here. He already plays well within our system. He understands that you are the director, but you're going to direct it in the way that we direct you to direct it.
Direct the shit that we put together.
Yeah. So he plays well in that. He plays well in that sandbox. I think Levy does as well. Just the conversation he had the other morning with Fandango and Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman. He plays the game well. The questions that were asked, he perfectly navigated through them. Like he plays the game really well. So I think that he's on their list of, when we can't find a director, we'll go to the ones we've already got.
The same way Julius Ono, if he succeeds, he'll get to do Black Panther.
Bingo.
I just hate that it's all on the shoulders of Brave New World, because I think that movie is going to torpedo.
I think 600 million is a success for that movie.
if that movie makes 600 million, I'll champion it. I'm thinking it's got Harrison Ford in it.
Yeah, right after Thunderbolts, we'll know, right? No, is it after Thunderbolts?
500 maybe. Maybe 500 million.
Well, they're comparing it to
their Ant-Man numbers. Ant-Man did 500 million.
That's true. It did.
Ant-Man did 500 million
with a reasonable budget and a reasonable
advertising. They're comparing this to the Winter Soldier. Now, obviously, that's probably just talk for promotional reasons.
I won't accept that at all.
I won't accept that either, because those are some big damn shoes to fill.
Yeah, I won't even put that expectation on you. Don't play with me.
That's what I'm saying. That's why they even came out and said that after the 9-minute clip that was shot. That's something I wouldn't have touched. I would have let, maybe if the fans want to compare it to Winter Soldier, sure. But me as a studio coming out in a quote and saying it's comparable to Winter Soldier, oh sir.
Now my expectations just went all the way up there.
Yeah. Because that's an MCU film that I do go back and watch quite often. But that's really it on the news so far. This week, rather, what's been going on outside of. I mean, there's some pop culture stuff which we do want to jump into doing with you guys too. I would have liked to, if we would have gotten a chance to talk about it when it was more. I guess I won't say it's not relevant anymore, but when it first happened, the Diddy Cassie thing. We want to jump into some of the other pop culture conversations with you guys too. But as far as today goes, those were the news that we had. But the last thing we wanted to ask you guys, since we're doing this every Thursday, and we want to try to, build this into actually being something, we were trying to come up with a name for this.
For the group chat.
Yeah.
not just the podcast. What do we name the group chat?
Yeah, so if you guys have any names or ideas for what this could be, just shoot them to us, and we'll, kind of, maybe we can narrow it down to like 3 or 4, and then
put them in the comments
live.
for sure.
Yeah.
I made some that are going to be like, they're going to taint the audience, but I'll put them here in the private chat. And then you guys can tell me which one stands out of these suggestions. First one's up there is the Bus Us League, obviously the Justice League, the back of the bus to get it. There's Burn-In Fanatics. You guys know Burn-In, the Wakandan themes, right? And then there's Thrillmongers. We can be the Thrillmongers. Who wouldn't like to be a Thrillmonger? There's other names. There's other names that I threw out there that they're probably reading right now, and I'm not married to any of them. But you get to suggest them. Suggest them in the comments of this right here. We're gonna look it over. We're gonna think it over. We'll put it up to polls. We'll throw them out. We'll banter amongst them, and that's what we're expecting by next week.
Yeah, for sure. So you guys hit us with some names, because we're going to be back again next Thursday. and we will come with some more topics. And we'll try to again. We have to talk amongst ourselves just about improving. But first, we just want to get a name squared away. But we want to try to improve the show for you guys each time, because I think the three of us, we really have a good chemistry together, good topics, good conversation, and good things to say. So we appreciate all you guys being here, all 43 of you being here this evening. We appreciate that so very much. And again, spread the word about this, that we are live every Thursday, so that we can get more people in here. It is hosted on my channel, but please fill in over to Chill's channel, fill in over to Marcus over at Back of the Bus, and subscribe to them if you are not. We appreciate everybody being here. Any final words from Chill?
No.
Where can they find you, even though I just said it?
It's right there, right on the side, right there. Boom, that red button there, Chillmonger.
Boom, boom. Marcus, where can they find you?
You can catch us at Back of the Bus Podcast. Yes, sir. Right there underneath the name. Every Sunday we go live, shoot our episodes, but you can also catch us throughout the week. Wednesdays we do Dubs and Nails. Thursdays we do Behind the Cape.
Sir. Yes, sir. And on you will see me again, not likely tomorrow, probably Monday, since it is Memorial Day. I have that day off. So if there's news enough, I might stream Monday. If not, you will see me Wednesday, and of course again on Thursday. But I do appreciate all of you guys again being here, all of you. And the chat was really going this time, so we appreciate all the conversation as well. So thank you guys. But until next time, like, subscribe, share with your friends, and we will see all you guys in the next video. Peace out. Be safe. Thank you.